on, I said sometimes you have to mature in order to truly understand that there can be things that we want that's simply not according to God's plan. That's not what he has in store. That's not what he has intended for my life. And it takes maturity to understand that. And you may say, Pastor, why as a child of God would we ever desire something that's not of God? Because we have to contend with the flesh. Come on, I said we have to contend with the flesh. Not the devil, not demons, but the flesh. What did Paul teach us? He taught us that the flesh is contrary to the spirit. And Paul admonished the saints that if we walk in the spirit, we will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Oh, come on, somebody, because the flesh lusts against the spirit, and they are contrary to one another. And see, when we get in the flesh, like it or not, no matter how long we have been saved, if we get in the flesh, we can think, talk, and do opposite of God's will. And so often when we get in the flesh, we want to see something happen, but what we desire is not of God. And if we don't quickly get out of the flesh, start walking in the spirit, we will always think we know what's best for us, even though God is the only one who holds that title. I wish you shout to somebody, show he right. Anybody ever got in the flesh and desired something that was contrary to God's will? And it took God revealing to you that you was in the flesh. Come on, every one of us. And then Paul said, those who are in the flesh, watch this, cannot please God. So when we're in the flesh, we can't please God. Why? Because again, we are thinking, talking, and doing contrary to what God would have for us to think, how he would have for us to talk, and what he would have for us to do. And again, you have to mature in your walk with God sometime to recognize that the thing that you want is not according to his plan. And no matter how much you cry, no matter how much you pray, no matter how much you fast, you are not in his will in what you are wanting or desiring. I wish you could see some of the faces I'm getting up here. It's as if folks are saying, that's the problem then. No wonder that's what's going on. And it has been a time in my life where I had to mature to recognize, to come into the knowledge that what I desire is not according to God's plan. One of the easiest things to quote is, Lord, not my will, but your will be done, until you want to do your will. Come on, somebody. That's not a problem until you're wrestling with your will. Come on. It's not a problem when everything going your way. It's not a problem when God is answering your prayer when you feel he needs to answer, and he's doing it how you feel things need to be done. There is no wrestle with you. But have you ever wrestled with yourself? Have you ever had to bring your will under subjection? Recognize that what I want is not what God would have for me to do. Have you ever had to stand down, recognize that I'm in the flesh and I need to get myself together? I wish you give him a praise if you have ever been there. It will encourage your neighbor. It will give somebody hope who is around you, who's warring right now. There's a fight taking place. Come on, sometimes we struggle doing what God would have for us to do. And listen to me, and you can't blame everything on the devil. Sometimes it's a work of the flesh. Am I right about it? But also we have to keep in mind Ecclesiastes 3:1. When the writer said, to everything there is a season Come on, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under the heaven. Pastor, why are you quoting that? Because we also have to recognize that there are times that God is going to do what we desire. He's going to bring to pass what you want. But watch this, he may not do it on your timetable. Come on, somebody. It's coming to pass, but it may not happen in the season that you want it to happen. It may not happen the way you imagine that it would happen. Come on. Some of you have got blessed and it didn't happen when you thought it would happen. It didn't happen the way you thought it would happen. But when God did it, you were glad that it didn't happen the way you wanted it. Am I right about anybody ever been there? So recognize there are times that God is going to do exactly what he said, but it may not manifest in the season that we want. It may not happen according to your timetable. And tell your neighbor, if you really trust God, you'll be all right if it don't happen on your timetable. Do I have any witness? Do I have any witness? Anybody that you say, Pastor, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm fine if it don't happen when I want it to happen. Now, a lot of you can't say that because you will be lying in church. Because we're immature, many of you, when it comes to that. Not recognizing that there is a season. There is a due season. There is an appointed season to which God is going to cause certain things to manifest. Come on, I prayed for a long time, not seeing it as an act of worship, but seeing it as I'm going to get God to do this thing. Not recognizing again that there was a season. There was a season in which God was going to do it. It's just like a woman that's pregnant. If she only 2 or 3 months, it don't matter how fed up she is with what she's going through in her body, there's a due time for that baby to arrive. Come on, and at 2 and 3 months, she ain't gonna rush the process. Come on, that ain't just me talking. That's from what I've heard pregnant women say. And I've been around a few y'all. And they can get to the point to where you can tell that they're tired of going through certain things. Am I right about it, women? Come on, women. They're tired of sleeping on the same side. They ready to go back to sleeping face down. But it may not happen for a while, sister, because you can't rush the process. Do y'all hear me? There are certain things that God is going to do in your life. He going to do in my life, but he won't allow me to rush the process. I got a season that I'm going to bring you into that. I got a season where I'm going to destroy that enemy. I have a season where I'm going to allow you to come forth. Are y'all hearing me? And so you have to recognize when things don't go your way, that there are times that God is saying is going to happen, but it's going to happen on my timetable. You know what that causes you to do? That causes you to relax. I said it causes you to relax. Causes you to just chill. Why? It's going to happen when God deems time for it to happen. Come on, some of you quiet that done tried to rush God, but you can't rush God. I said you can't rush God. You can't hurry God. Not the true God, not the Most High. Now you can get in self and do something and put his name on it. But see, God will know I'm not in that. That's your impatience. That's you rushing the process.